Hello Huskies, Preston Dunyan here with your Friday Dogcast, February 4th, 2022, and we have a boring weekend yet again. And there's two different reasons for that. First of all, the part that's a little less boring, that's been today's story, right? We've had a cold front moving in off the coast of Washington over western Washington today, impacting us right now here in the Sound, kind of passing through 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon, 4 o'clock as I record this. We're feeling those gusts kind of pick up. There's still some spotty showers out there. That's the impact of that front moving through. The other thing I want to point out is take a look at this motion, right? All these clouds are moving up and over something. And that something is a ridge of high pressure out in the Pacific. That's going to dictate our long-term pattern, and we'll talk more about that in a moment. But first, taking a look at the rainfall. Now, this is all going to be in the next 6 to 12 hours here overnight. We're not going to look at any rain over the weekend. And these totals are really, really puny. I mean, congratulations, Chehalis. You are the only one that's going to get over 0.1 inches of rain. Really, really small totals. Not impactful in any way, but just something to spice up your Friday, I suppose. Now, taking a look at today in terms of temperature, although we've been a lot drier than I might expect for a February 4th, we have been almost exactly, on pace with our temperatures for today. One below on the high and one above on the low. Pretty good there. Now, pretty chilly in 1989, down into the single digits. And then another thing that I'd like to focus on here, something to motivate me towards the spring, is that 63-degree temperature record high set back in 2009. As we move into February and further into the end of winter and into spring, we really see that be a possibility where we could crack into the 60s because we got a stronger sun that's out for more hours of the day. Something to keep your eye on as we get closer towards the end of winter, especially because, at least the way it's setting up right now, winter is not going to end with a bang. Now, another aspect of today has been the wind, and you saw briefly for a flash there at the beginning of this loop that those wind gusts were pretty high, around 30 miles per hour in Seattle around the time of recording here, 4 p.m. this afternoon on Friday, because that front is right here across the Sound, moving east at the moment. After it passes, those winds are no longer going to be shooting up from the south, but they're going to be coming in off the coast, giving us a typical westerly flow. And those winds are going to be, as you see here, 4 p.m. on Sunday, very light, not impactful in any way, and often actually variable. So not really specifically coming out of the west, just kind of little breezes out of any direction because we just don't have a lot of a wind maker in place. Here's your look at your Saturday. We're going to have some sun breaks. How about that? Another fairly nice weekend on tap. We had a lot of dry weekends this winter quarter, surprisingly, and another one is ahead. More sunshine on Saturday than Sunday, and it's still going to be spotty, but you get out there. Maybe you're walking down to the gymnastics meet tomorrow afternoon or walking to go get lunch with some friends on the Ave. Whatever you're doing out there, you might see some blue skies and some sunshine. And again, that wind is not going to be impactful, but that temperature, 48 degrees, I will take that all day here at the beginning of February. Looking for 50 and then 60, but hey, progress is progress. We'll take it. We're back on pace with average, which is something we could not say about a week ago. Take a look at the 7-day forecast ahead for us. It starts with some sprinkles today, and then we get into Saturday, looking mostly cloudy and a little bit below average, but right there. We're up at 50 degrees on Sunday, a little cloudier though, so get your sunshine fix in on Saturday for the first half of the weekend. Monday, another chance at some real spotty showers. Again, just kind of sprinkles. Nobody's expecting really more than 1/10 of an inch. The European and American models are both on board with that being a very, very weak storm system. So nothing to worry about there. Tuesday, we get about a 50-50 sun and clouds mix, and I will take that. A little bit cooler, and then as we head into the end of next week, 51, 52, we're getting above average in terms of temperature, and the sun is mostly going to be the one you see when you look up to the skies rather than those clouds. So interesting week on tap, right? Mostly dry, and we've got some kind of partial clouds, and so that'll allow for some of this overnight cooling that gets us well below our average low for this time of year, into the mid and low 30s on some days. Final thing I want to talk about is the long-term pattern. Beyond 7 days, look at the 8 to 14-day forecast from the Climate Prediction Center, and they are showing what the pattern is really going to suggest, even if you just look at the pressure maps, right? We've got this persistent ridge of high pressure out in the Pacific, and so that's going to steer storms up and over the top rather than into western Washington like the jet stream would if we didn't have that ridge there, really bumping things up to our north. Now, we still can have some fun impacts if we've got this ridge near us, but it can't be over us, and that's the problem right here. It's too far east. It is kind of over western Washington, so instead of steering storms right down the coast from the Gulf of Alaska, down British Columbia, and into western Washington, giving us some potential for some snow or at least some rain, we don't have that, right? That ridge is over top of us, so any storms that steer are going to be probably on the other side of the Cascades or even the Rockies, depending on exactly where that sets up. Now, that really is going to be the way things are for the next 8 to 14 days, and so as we get to the middle of February, a drier and warmer pattern is what we can expect. So get out and enjoy this dry weekend. Probably not the last one for February, but we will be back with more content here on the Dogcast in the coming days.